Here's how this works. Water, salt, and pepper, those are freebies. Your pantry, it better have flour, oil, vinegar, mustard, and garlic. Beyond that, you'll only need 5 more ingredients and 25 minutes to put an entree or entire meal on the table. So, shop, set the clock, and let's dish out. First up, we'll grab a pork tenderloin, somewhere in the 1 to 1.5 pound range. A few slices of prosciutto. Some fresh mozzarella. I grabbed some that was already sliced, but of course you can slice your own. Some refrigerated pesto. I prefer that over the canned stuff in the pasta aisle, but if you make your own, even better. And of course we'll need some buns. So we'll start off with our pork tenderloin. We'll season that very generously with lots of fresh cracked pepper and a strong pinch of salt. And then one of my favorite things to do to ensure we have even seasoning is just roll that piece of meat around in that seasoned plate, or you can do this on your cutting board. And once it is very thoroughly seasoned, I'm going to go ahead and crank my smoker up with the help of my dog, of course, to around 450 degrees. I'm going to throw this pork tenderloin down for about 20 minutes or until it is cooked through to 140 degrees or so in the inside, looking for a nice medium. You could definitely do this in an oven, on a traditional grill, or even in a pan if you didn't have any of those implements available. I'm just going to give it a turn every few minutes. Once it's almost done, I'm going to go ahead and grab my buns, and you could use any kind of sandwich bread or buns for this that you'd like. I've got some nice little French rolls here, which I'm personally not a huge fan of all that excess bread, so I'm going to take a little bit out. I think it helps the sandwich assemble a little easier. Drizzle over a little olive oil, and then once you've got some oiled up buns, we'll just throw those down on our grill to get a nice little toast as well. Next up, we'll slice our pork tenderloin, and it is beautiful and juicy and just slightly pink in the middle, and I am not worried about that one bit. It's going to cook through a little bit more on our sandwich, and even if it weren't, that would just be beautiful, juicy pork tenderloin. Go ahead and slice that up, set it aside. I'm going to reach into the pantry and grab just a little bit of Dijon mustard. Definitely optional, but I think a Cuban requires some kind of mustard, so I put that down. Going in with a very generous dollop of that pesto, we'll spread that all across that top bun or piece of bread. Next up, I'm going to lay down that thinly sliced pork tenderloin. And then on top of that, I'm going to shingle over a few slices of prosciutto. Traditionally, Cubans are pulled pork and ham, but I think this is an amazing combination with the tenderness of the pork tenderloin and the salty savoriness of that prosciutto. It is an absolutely great bite. And of course, that fresh mozzarella has to go down with some seasoning, fresh cracked pepper, and a strong pinch of salt. And you could eat this just as it is, but I'm going to throw mine back on the grill. You could also pop it into an oven, or a panini press would actually be the ideal solution for how to get this nice and hot and crispy. But seeing as I don't have a panini press, just a few minutes on the grill with a little bit of firm pressing was all it took to get this thing warm through from top to bottom. I could have left it on a little bit longer to melt that cheese, but the bread was getting nice and crispy, so went ahead and pulled it off. And we've got a cross section here that is absolutely to die for. We've got the richness from the nuts and the oil and that pesto, the cheese of course. Oh, look at that beautiful thick layer of fresh mozzarella and that beautiful basil oil dripping out of that pesto. Great salty notes in that prosciutto, and that pork tenderloin is just, well, absolutely succulent. So tender. Crunchy hot bread. I mean, this is a delightful sandwich. Whether you use a grill, the oven, or just make it all on the stovetop, I know you're absolutely going to love this. If you're a fan of pork, cheese, and pesto, this is a treat. So I'll shut up now. It's your turn to go make this, or at the very least, get out of here and go make something delicious.